Good evening, everybody. Matrix here, and here's my watch list for February 28th. Okay, so taking a look at the SPY futures right now. Today was a awkward day, to be quite honest. I mean, we had what? Let me see here. We had a down drop at the open today, and basically it breached this interim uptrend line, and late day it reclaimed, and it clearly shows that we bounced right off it at around the close, and now the SPY futures is continuing on up right now. Now we don't know what it's going to do at the open around midnight here, but it's looking pretty bullish. And I was talking with a friend of mine just now. I was saying I didn't really understand this dip over here, and she says it's the SPY overall is on an uptrend. It's shaking people out. To me, I like that thesis. It works, right? It makes sense. Okay. It was a little bit overextended for the past few days on this little grind up run here. We see volume compression in this very tight sideways range. Today it dipped and held the 9 EMA, and now that the overall futures market is looking bullish, I am and reclaim the uptrend line. I am looking for this 279 area to hold, and then it's going to rip tomorrow, in my opinion. So let's take a look at that on the intraday here real quick. This is a 15-minute chart. 279 right there. Okay, so bounce off and then reclaim, and then perhaps we'll test these highs here at around the 280. It looks like it wants 280, 280.25. Again, this is key resistance from yesterday. Gonna mark that off, and if that breaches, then we will surely test the highs here at 281.3. So what my thesis is for a bounce or pop out the gates and then reclaim and then rip again. Okay, so that's my outlook on the SPY. Let's take a look at the watch list here. I have a few tickers I want to talk about. I'm just going to go through with my main watches tomorrow first. Main watch here is Weight Watchers. The stock is still in short sale restriction, SSR. And today we see that after the massive gap down, we are in, it's built a sideways range for itself. A key resistance area of 20 and a key support of 19. So it's trading in the sideways range. I'd also want to make a note here at 1860 was the low of today. So my overall thesis is still short bias here. However, because the stock is still on SSR, I do like to play. I mean, it's identified its sideways range here for $1. So I do like the short bias still because of the earnings catalyst. I will look for a pop into the 20 area resistance here again, and I will try to take a short here and try to ride this thing down. Perhaps breaking 19, test the lows again, and from here, if it holds up, then ride it back up and just play the sideways range. Pretty interesting, pretty easy. If I'm going to be longing the stock from the bottom here, I'm going to be very cautious. My size on the long is going to be probably half of what I would be using on the short, just because overall I am more short bias than this. And if this bottom snaps, this stock might panic still. So I like the short a little bit more, but I will be trying to play this range both up and down here on Weight Watchers. SQ announced earnings after hours. They basically had a very bad guidance here. Well, not very bad, just a tad bad. Anyways, the reaction to the guidance was very negative. This could be a little bit too much. I don't know. It's not really up to me to say. What I want to talk about is prior to earnings, the past couple of months, people have been buying this up, okay, anticipating good earnings, okay. So we have buyers stuck in here, and at any pop, I do expect the buyers or the bag holders who haven't got out yet, they will want to sell and try to get out. We have identified a very key resistance area of 75. Okay, so this is also a key psychological whole number, as well as the 50 EMA on my 5-minute chart over here. So this is the top of the range in my opinion. We have also identified support here at 74 after hours, which it's holding. So basically, I'm going to be watching the stock bounce back and forth between this range. I do like the short side a little bit more, just like Weight Watchers. I'm going to look for a pop and drop. Maybe we can get it back down to lows here at 70.40s to 70.50s. The overall target, though, I mean, if this snaps, this is anything below this would be bonus, in my opinion. And if I am able to capture this, the target would be at 72 first, and then maybe possibly bring it all the way down to $70.50 around this 200 SMA area. So my thesis is a short. Once again, kind of like Weight Watchers, going to be heavier on the size, on the short size, and easier on the size on the long side here. Be a little bit more cautious on the long. I'm not to say that the stock won't come right back up and bounce. I mean, it is pre-overextended to the short side, but I just don't see the stock getting back and above. If it does hold above 75 and starts holding here, then the thesis would change, and that would be a long and bring it back up to the 77 area, which is a key inflection point here. 77 prior key resistance, which popped up and over, and today it was actually trading above it as well before the earnings. So this is a very key, crucial resistance area, which I don't think the stock will get over the 77 here. Okay, so that's SQ. CVNA announced earnings after hours. They missed the revenue estimates, but they did put out a little bit better guidance. If gonna watch this 45 here, key psychological whole number, and after hours it made a mark for itself here. You can see it was after hours resistance once it snapped and reclaimed. So tomorrow I'm expecting a dip to see if this 45 holds, and if it does, then I'm gonna long it. The target here would be 48. Coincidentally, if you take a look at the 48 mark here on the daily chart, it's actually right here at this area. So on a long, I would target 48. On a short, at 45 snaps, or from 48, I might take it short and bring it right back down. If the 45 snaps, I want to watch for pop back up and for it to hit resistance right at 45, then I might short it. But because the guidance is good and we do see positive reaction here, if I'm shorting it, I will be a little bit careful here under 45. So because this is a very key psychological whole number as well as support area. And AMRN. Just really quickly, AMRN is going to be on side watch today. It had earnings this morning, and initially it dipped, held, and ripped back up. So I'm watching for it to test the highs tomorrow and see what it does. Looking back on the past month, people have been buying AMRN. Okay, the $19 mark here is a key breakout area. So as well as 20. 20 held and broke out today. So I'm going to watching for these highs to test the 2150 area. Okay, see what it does from there. If it gets above and starts holding, I might long it and ride it up to test these daily highs. If not, then if it rejects here, I'm going to short it back down for a profit-taking day. Maybe bring it back to note $20.50 support here, and then bring it down to $20 as well. Side watch AMRN. Finally, we have BBY, Best Buy. This is very overextended. It's tried to break out over the 200, but it got held down. With the SPY thesis being bullish, I do think it will rip again tomorrow. Not a super rip. It will kind of range, but the upside has a higher probability in my opinion. So I do like it for a continuation long. Very important is I want to see it reclaim 69 first, and then my long thesis would be intact. Tomorrow at the pre-market, I will be expecting a dip out the gates. Let's see here. I mean, at the open, it held 68, but I'm going to be watching for 68.50 to hold, as well as 68. Okay, so I am going to be watching these two areas of support for the stock to bounce. It's selling off a little bit, but only because I think the SPY is selling off as well late day today. But the futures is looking good, so I do like the long thesis. Dip, hold, and rip. Try to test the highs again, and perhaps above and beyond. We are looking at the next resistance area at the 72.50 mark. So let's see what it does tomorrow. That's BBY. That's it for my watch list. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, share as well. Check out my video link description in all my videos if you are interested in some trading DVDs. And check out my Mentor Tricks YouTube channel as well. And I'll see you guys out bright and early tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.